Hello everybody and welcome back to the GameShow Global Esports Cup. We are here with Kappa123 and again MVP Hot6. For people that did tune in previously, MVP managed to secure a 1-1 victory versus G7. Will they be able to outperform Kappa123 though? They're going to be feeling extremely tired after two pretty brutal series, especially the previous one. Them obviously winning, which will boost their morale by quite a margin. But for Kappa, this is going to be the first game of the day, so they're probably going to be feeling a little bit more fresh than Hot6. We'll see if this does impact the style of our Koreans, or if it's going to make them play better. Who knows? Some people do play better if they are extremely tired, or at least if they're practiced. So, the draft is well underway here. As you have a Darkseer, Undying, Doom, and Queen of Pain ban. Very standard bans all along the block. Doom, obvious ban. People ban Doom for obvious reasons, so I don't need to say anything about that. Queen of Pain gets rid of one of the possible mids in this game, whereas there is going to be no Darkseer this game, so no strong offlaner, no walls, no ion shells, no nothing, no Darkseer Spirit Breaker combos that we sometimes see, which I like watching, but yeah, I guess it's not for today, unfortunately. Now, the picks that we are going to be seeing here, it's first pick Tusk for Kappa123 as a hero was still available, lots of disruption, lots of snowballs, lots of ice shards. Tusk very good at all of those things. He's also very versatile, so we could potentially see him in that offlane role if Kappa so desires to put him there. Whereas for Hot6, they've gone for two cores right off the bat. They've gone for Slaughter as well as Ember Spirit, so we already saw the wonders of Slaughter with the initiation potential and also helping out the team with the amplify damage. They go back for an Ember Spirit this time though, so we haven't seen Hot6 play Ember Spirit as of yet, but this hero, extremely elusive, quite difficult to deal with. Tusk, unfortunately, isn't really the best hero when it comes to dealing with an Ember Spirit, just because Ember Spirit can maneuver around the Tusk most of the time. If there are no remnants around for Ember Spirit though, that's when the Tusk does become a relevant threat, but if Hot6 are on their toes and they do keep an eye on the Ember Spirit, then he should be absolutely fine when it comes to those team fight scenarios. Now our final, 20 seconds left actually for Kappa. They're really thinking about the second pick, and who would have expected a Bane pickup for Kappa? Now there's nothing wrong with the Bane pickup. There are a lot of pros and cons when dealing with a Bane. The Nightmare is a exceptional setup tool, so if you want to have a hero like a Lina or even a Mirana to follow up with an arrow or the LSAs, then that's where Bane comes in super handy. Although honestly, you'd rather go for a Shadow Demon pick if you could, just because Shadow Demon can do the exact same thing as Bane, but obviously better tenfold because of the Soul Catcher. So I think Bane this game, it's going to be mostly just for the control. The Nightmares, the Enfeebles during the lanes, and also if we can get a full Fiend's Grip off, it pierces BKB, which is much better than just a simple Purge. The Disable is just invaluable. So for Kappa, the Bane pickup, although it's interesting, not really going to give too much away aside from the fact that they have a lot of single target disable now, both the Tusk as well as the Bane. So our second phase of bans, Earthshaker and Gyro so far, so they get rid of the Earthshaker for Hot6, as Hot6 do need to pick up their supporting duo, unless they go for a support Slaughter. Hot6, both Phoenix and Hot6 have a tendency to go for weird things, and I know both of the teams do occasionally run support Slaughters, so there is a chance that we might be seeing the Slaughter run in the support role. But it really depends on how Hot6 wants to play this game out. Do they want to have the Slaughter on a supporting role and assume he's going to get farm, or do they want to put him in that core role? And obviously putting him in a core role guarantees the farm for the Slaughter, so that he's not going to fall off as the game progresses. So another support off the table here for Kappa123. It's going to be the Disruptor. Honestly, if I was Kappa, I would pick up the Disruptor myself. It is an amazing hero when it comes to dealing with an Ember Spirit. The Glimpse, the Silence, the Kinetic Field. If you catch even the Slaughter in there when he's got the Sprint on, he takes amplified damage too. So I would have preferred if Kappa picked that up themselves rather than a Bane, but let's see if the Bane finally pays off. Hot6, they're going to be able to pick themselves up a Dazzle. So Dazzle, we know what Dazzle does. Graves, heals, weaves. Even poison touches to a certain degree are going to be very useful. So a lot of survivability already on the table here for Hot6. So they now have vision, maneuverability, survivability. Kappa in the meantime going to add a little bit of maneuverability to their draft with a Wind Ranger, who scales decently well as the lane progresses. Very, very strong mid laner though. So it seems that Kappa is hoping to win that mid lane with the Wind Ranger, possibly versus an Ember Spirit matchup. So Spirit Breaker can be the third fourth pickup, sorry, I can't count, for MVP Hot6. Now, Spirit Breaker is going to add more vision to the table for Hot6, as they already have the amplified damage. Adding a charge onto that means that there's going to be a semi-global presence here for Hot6, as they're going to constantly be on the aggressive with that Spirit Breaker. And with the lucky charges, sometimes you can just disrupt a complete team fight with just charging through the middle of everyone. But they will have some amazing chase now with the Spirit Breaker as well. So if Kappa wants to try and get out of the fights, the Snowball is probably the only way to go. Unless they get some lucky disables before the Spirit Breaker connects, then they could possibly disjoint the initiation. But we'll see what Kappa wants to decide. 5 seconds on the clock. They really don't have time when it comes to picks. They pick up an anti-mage. Oh, I know, we're in for a long game. No, heaven forbid. Alright, so we just came out of an anti-mage game. Now we're going to go back right into one. And Kappa, they're giving me that Kappa look. They're just saying, okay, let's do this. Let's do this anti-mage. Please pity the caster. Please, please, please pity the caster. The caster feels tired. The caster feels tired too, but I guess they don't feel anything about me. That's fine, because they want to win the game. Whereas for me, I'm just hoping that the games go excitingly and as smoothly as possible. But with the anti-mage pickup though, I'm not too sure if it's going to be super effective versus Hot6. Because Hot6 have a lot of chasing potential. Slaughter, Spirit Breaker, Ember Spirit. If this anti-mage oversteps one line, he gets caught. Full stop. Nothing is ever going to redeem themselves. Like, nothing on Kappa is ever going to redeem the death of the anti-mage. This does, however, put an extra strategy onto the table for Kappa though, ladies and gentlemen. He will be able to go for split push. As we saw last game, if Kappa plays exactly like Hot6 did last game, play the diversion game, use the rest of their team to go for diversions and let anti-mage push, then it is a possibility. But the anti-mage pickup here for Hot6, I was not expecting this, but this is a huge amount of push potential thrown on top of Hot6's lineup. So DK, what does he bring to the table? He's tanky, awesome frontline, has a really, really good stun, especially with a good stun animation. He has the dragon form that's going to have the corrosive breath on heroes as well as the towers. And he has constant HP regeneration. So MVP, they're running a very, very tanky frontline heroes. And it looks like they're ready to fight Kappa123. And you look at the overall draft, early game it's only the Windrunner that's going to be doing most of the damage. Unless they finalize this with an Elder Titan, then things slightly change just because of the Elder Titan aura. We haven't seen this hero very much, but for people that did watch Nanyang, we did see the comeback of a little bit of Elder Titan. So Elder Titan pickup, does it completely trump Hot6? Does it completely dominate them? We'll have to see as we are moving into this first game between Kappa123 and MVP Hot6. Who will reign supreme for this first game? Obviously first games will be not the deciding factor, but just means that one team will at least have a bit of an edge when it comes into that second game scenario. Obviously it's a morale boost, but then you also know that you at least have guaranteed yourselves that 1 point in the bracket. Now since we're waiting anyway, I'll see if I can pop open the brackets to see where these teams currently are. And I think, give me a second guys, I just see pop open Gosu Gamers here. I'll just change the overlays and we'll just kind of follow Vitamin Light here for a moment. So I'll just open up the stats really quick before we do move into anything for the moment. So just for people that don't know, this is also Group B. This is Group B of the Global Esports Cup. I'm just going to open this. No, I don't want stream. No stream. So this is taking longer than usual. Come on, internet. Don't fail me now. Alright, so this is Group B of the Southeast Asia. So Hot6 are currently sitting in 4th position with 4 games. They've got essentially one more game after this to score points. And for them to be sitting right under TNC, if you are a Hot6 fan, you'll be quite happy with this. So for Hot6, they're looking to be in a pretty good position, even though they lost one game in their previous series. Just to get 1 point at least means they're still going to be ahead of their opponents. So aside from that, let's go for the quick introductions. Our new competitors, or at least the new challengers on the dire side for today. Kappa123, we have D-Thanks2710 on our Bane. Moving in towards the rune section, we've got Miguel handling our carry anti-mage Ponlo, playing on our Elder Titan up towards the Ancients. We've got Vitamin Light handling our Wind Ranger, as you saw earlier. And finally, Bless on our Tusk, who looks like he's going to be sitting in the off lane role. They've popped some Observer Wards in the tree line, which is quite interesting. Probably just to hide the ward so that MVP are assuming that the ward has already been put down. On the side of MVP Hot6, so on the Radiant squad for today, full charge is on our Dazzle. Safe lane is going to be Dubu sitting next to the tower. Our farmer here is going to be NJ handling our Ember Spirit in towards the middle lane. We've got 1227 or 1227 on our Dragon Knight. And finally, we've got 4 playing on our offlane Slardar this time. So last game, we saw an offlane Slardar that didn't have the best early game, but did come back on the back of some awesome kills. Is he going to have the same game scenario though? Because he doesn't have a Sand King who's farming in the jungle for a Blink Dagger. This game is going to be much more difficult. He's going to have to rely on the DK initiation plus even the Spirit Breaker initiation. So if they're not able to get them off the ground, it's going to be quite difficult for Forev to really come back, as jungle stacks are just not really possible with the Slardar. So in towards the middle lane, our DK, obviously a DK versus Wind Ranger matchup. Being melee, you are going to be at a severe disadvantage. He will have points put into the Dragon's Blood though, which will be very useful, especially with some of the physical damage coming out from the Wind Ranger. Forev trying to compete here with D-Thanks. So it's going to be quite hard for Bane to contest. He will have Brain Sap at level 2 though, so he will be able to trade a little bit more favorably than he typically would. For the moment, just going to have to cop a little bit of damage. But yeah, this mid matchup here is not going to be awesome for DK. He will get some CS, but Vitamin Light will have a huge edge. And for 1227, he's got to be so careful, because being melee means that you're at there's a higher chance for you to potentially just get shackle shot. It's inevitable. The chances are there. So Forev trying to fight up against Ponle this time. Now, you're not going to have that much of a favorable trade-off, although up top, did not get to see that as watching the other lane. First blood going in the way of Hot6 on the Ember Spirit. Beautiful kill as well, as it was picked up onto NJ. The best hero to pick up that kill in that lane. So now with that kill on the board, does Dubu try and go for some sort of rotation? He's got a haste rune. Gonna rotate into the mid lane as well. Try to cut off Vitamin Light. He's down to about 1/3 of his HP, but he is healing up unless he gets the courier instead. One more hit in the courier. Rest in peace, his little aphid. Rest in peace, little aphid of Lycelia. I have no idea how to pronounce your country, but that's fine because it doesn't exist. Rest in pieces. So no chance for Vitamin Light to go for any bottle crow. So if he doesn't get the rune, then that's it. And this is a huge win here for the Dragon Knight, as he's able to continuously bottle crow. So Forev really harassing out the supports here, it seems. Ponlo has not gone for any points into natural order. So he's not able to really cut into the armor of any of these heroes as of yet, unfortunately. But it's no big deal. Still Forev. Spotted out now. Gonna try and fight up against both. Gets a crush and then just sprints off. And he gets nightmared up. Oh no, this could be a nice setup actually. Echo Stomp's gonna be there. Only level 1. But they get the hit off. They get the aura. And they just crush. Runs away. Oh, Brain Sap and the last final hit. So nice pick up for Kappa. So Slardar getting a little bit overconfident and thinking that he can go that far in. Just didn't want to go out. And also very nice setup by the Bane as well. The Nightmare especially on point, and even with the Echo Slam from the Elder Titan. Typically you don't see level 2 Echo Slams, but this time it definitely worked out. The 2-second disable, just enough to keep the Slardar asleep. Still the Tusk trying to soak up EXP in a much more difficult role than the Slardar, it seems, because as soon as he goes into lane, there's just Dazzle. Just Poison Touch, boom. Smacks in the face with the stick. It's not very nice. So Forev in the meantime just going to continue on soaking, whereas in the mid lane we didn't really take a look at this aside from the Bottle Crow snipe. Vitamin Light still has no career for another 30 seconds, so he picks up a well, that's a very, very nice rune, a regeneration rune. And Bless takes the bounty rune, no! Oh, that's sad there for 1227. That's not what you want as a DK. He's going to have to Bottle Crow for the next one, so he's going to send the courier away. Take my bottle, Dr. Chicken. Off you go. Cluckles are brave. Very, very brave Cluckles. So it's mid lane gonna be a little bit more difficult for the Dragon Knight. Not bad. He's only got 1 point into the Dragon's Blood though. Shackle Shot does not land onto creeps because there are none nearby. So 1227's fine. There was Bane here with the setup if he wanted to try and go for it, but just gonna kind of walk past the lane, go for a block. That's about it. Oh, down here though. Okay, was not expecting this. So Tusk gonna connect onto one. Is the stuns there though? They don't really need it. So bless. God bless my friend. Go back to heaven. He'll be out for about 7 seconds. That's fine. Absolutely fine. No big deal. So, if we make a comparison between the Tusk as well as this Slardar, Slardar's getting much more out of the lane compared to the Tusk. Although there is a setup onto DK, but the TPs are there, so it looks like they're just going to retreat. No point even contesting. No point. Because why would you even bother? Why bother? Although there could be a nice setup onto Forev, who's hanging around, gets a crush off onto Miko, just going to run away. Just play safely here. No need to overextend. Lucky that there's no D-thanks here. If there's no 27-10, then there's no chance for them to really catch up to Forev, as they don't have the best setup when it comes to catching those off lanes. And it looks like Doobie playing a little bit too aggressive. They will bring in the Bane. They get the Spirit Breaker. NJ wants to finish off Bless. He might get him in the back. In the meantime, he does. Eats a mango. Is that enough there? Can he finish him off in time? But the Brain Sap's there. Huge kill going in the way of the Bane. So Ember Spirit as well as the Spirit Breaker is down. There is still the wards in the jungle. I wonder what they're doing with this. Is it just... Are these actually wards? Maybe they forgot the wards were there. Because the wards are definitely still there. No, but we can see. I guess they can't see them because, you know, fog. Don't see anything in fog. Charge onto Vitamin Light, but Duber only connects onto the low ground. Not really the place you want to be as a Spirit Breaker. Gets hit twice, that's fine. Level 6 on the DK now, so this is typically the time when you see DK hopefully try to go for pushes. Pop the Dragon Form, slowly start popping that Corrosive Breath onto the tower. So for 1227, probably just going to use this as an opportunity to farm as well. The Glyph will immediately be popped as well, so it looks like they want to prevent as much damage as possible onto the towers. So he will be able to farm in the mid lane without contest, unless they try and jump onto him. Bane's nearby, but the Spirit Breaker, he's there. He's got the charge available. They really want to try and go into Vitamin Light if they can. That seems at the moment the opportunity is just not there yet. They just have to wait. Patient. Patient as a lotus, as a dragon, as a crane. Oh, beautiful shackle coming up from Vitamin Light, doing a little bit of damage to the DK. He's not actually that big though. There's a stun, and Dubu gets spotted out by Pond Lane. They're going to retreat at this point. No point to chase. Unfortunately, Power Shot completely whiffs, so DK will live for another day as long as he doesn't get caught out again. If he gets caught out, then that's going to be a big misplay, but that's fine. He will be spotted. Vitamin Light, not looking. Not looking for the shackle. In the meantime, though, Dazzle moving back into this top lane to harass out Bless. Our poor Tusk. He's level 4 now. Compare it to the Slardar. They're both even. Exactly even now. So both of them are getting their levels. But they're coming to their level 6 a little bit late than they typically would. So it's literally exact same situation for both off lanes, whereas our Ember Spirit spots a very sad Ponlo, slept for what seems to be an eternity. Gonna commit though, wants to kill. Final hit does pick him off, but Bane is looking for a Nightmare, but I don't think he's gonna get it. Too much fog, and NJ should pop a Remnant onto the low ground, or he's just gonna run out of there. It's fine. Just run. No phase boots, no nothing. Bane's just not quick enough, unfortunately. Mid lane though, Vitamin Light gets caught out. Is there enough disable though? The wind run does keep her alive for a little bit longer. They will get her off with the Dragon's Breath though, so that's going to be the end of that Wind Ranger. And because there's been a lot of rotations here for Kappa123, it's opened up the lane here for Forev on our Slardar, so he's getting very close to his level 6. Whereas for Bless, he's almost ticked over to level 5, but not quite yet, so he's not really in the best position. The Echo Stop will be there. It's a setup onto the Dragon Knight. Can they do anything with this though? No 6 on Bane, so it's just the 2 supports that are kind of buying time, whereas up towards the top lane they're going to try and jump onto the anti-mage. She does get the blink off. There is no Nether Strike unfortunately, so no real commitment aside from just pushing him out of that lane. It's about 9 minutes into the game. Our graphs looking very even right now. Both teams, they've both gotten kills, they've both gotten assists, they've both got really everything, but no one is asserting much of a lead. It's really a back and forth game at this point. It's very, very open. No one is in control as of yet. So net worth, nice lead here for MVP, although it's literally head to head for MVP as well as Kappa. Both of their major cores are farming at roughly the same rate.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So are there any major item pickups? Nothing as of yet. Are we seeing anyone accumulate gold? It's mostly the Ember Spirit. Gets a tower as well on top of that, so he is going to be getting quite a bit of gold. Actually, it was the Dazzle to secure that full charge. This guy loves his tower gold, but NJ picks up his first item. What is it going to be? Boot the Travels. So the handy dandy Boot the Travels and the Ember Spirit. So he is going to be super mobile. He won't be able to participate in the fights till about 20 minutes into the game though. So his usefulness won't be that great. Bless though. Charge. Ember Spirit Remnant in. Gonna have the change though. Mango popped. Tusk gets the snowball off. Will connect to NJ, but Bless is pretty much over. Doobie, they're taking a lot of damage himself, will go down. Tusk is dead. Full charge comes in, and even though Miguel TP's in, there's really no chance for them to kill any of these heroes, especially with the Grave online on that Dazzle. So for Hot6, it's gonna be a nice turn of events, and they just TP out. So Boot the Travel's done on our Ember Spirit as well, and he's left the lane. He actually just came back in. Where are you? You're both red. Why are you both red? But now it's going to try and push out Miguel here. There is a Bane nearby, or he is nearby, sorry. No level 6, no Brain Saps there, take a little bit of damage, but NJ's burning through these heroes by quite a margin. There is a level 6 onto Miguel, trying to go for a ult. No, hangs around for a little bit, has to blink out though, quite low, 50 HP. He doesn't go down in the meantime. This is when you hope you can just summon Zeus. Open the cheat command. Zeus. GG, ult, whatever. Just get that Zeus ult, hopefully get those pickoffs that you want. But for Hot6, they missed the kill really pretty much on the anti-mage. Would have been nice if the Ember Spirit did get that, but Kappa playing very, very safe for the anti-mage. Aside from being a little bit aggressive, he's not dying. I think that's the major thing with the anti-mage. Just keep him alive, keep him farming, and then you'll pretty much be good at this point. So almost got enough gold for a potential Blink Dagger on the DK, unless he goes for Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade being one of the more traditional builds on the DK, just giving him that sort of mode of an initiation. So you can go for those Shadow Blade DK stuns. Because the stun on the DK is amazing. Normally you keep it to level 2 and you level everything else up in the process. But once he does get points into that, like look at this. 3.25 stun duration at max. Like level 1's 2.5 already. That's half an arrow. That is a long stun duration, and if you can have that set up, then it's amazing. So it is going to be the Blink Dagger for our DK. So he doesn't have to worry about mana problems with a Shadow Blade now, though. So I guess that's the major thing with the DK. With the setup now, though, he's going to be that main initiator for Hot6 up until the point where the Slardar finally gets a Blink Dagger. He's getting closer and closer to it. He's not going to be that close to it, but at least Forever will eventually pick it up at around the 20-minute mark. Maybe even 15 if he's able to get some solid farm for the next couple of minutes. Gonna be sprinting into the top lane now, and Dubu just a charge onto Miguel to harass him out for a little bit, but not really there to lock him down completely. But this is where the push happens though. DK coming in, charge onto Ember, not onto Ember, onto Anti-Mage. Dubu taking a lot of tower damage. Unfortunately, the the Anti-Mage wasn't quite enough to really finish him off. And Bane, unfortunately, TP'd in, will go down. And now Dazzle, literally dazzling us as he's able to survive a Walrus Punch by the Tusk. So 3 heroes dead here for Kappa123, and they're also going to lose a T1 in the process. Whereas in the middle lane, excuse me guys, my camera's going a little bit funky today. 4 in the mid lane, no one harassing him out. So for Kappa123, they're really not really doing anything. They're getting a Maelstrom straight away on the Wind Ranger. This is quite interesting. Why a Maelstrom first on the Wind Ranger? Why would it not be on something like a Blink Dagger or even an Aghanim Scepter? There's nothing like Cold Embrace that's really going to be keeping MVP alive. There's really nothing to justify a Maelstrom pickup aside from the fact that maybe you want a little bit of AoE to clear out the jungle, or at least creeps. Yeah, you typically never pick this up unless you want wave clear. So does Vitamin Light go back for more of a farming oriented Wind Ranger? Because if you do that, you already got a farming anti-mage that needs space. You can't make space for both an anti-mage and a Wind Ranger. Both of those heroes need farm. And we have the blink available onto Slardar too, so Forev is hot and kicking and online. That's just the major thing. Smoke into the mid lane, gonna find absolutely nobody unfortunately. Very healthy duration on the smokes, but the invisibility rune on D, thanks, could be crucial. Depends if they find somebody though, but I don't think so. Maelstrom finally completed, so we'll have to see if this Maelstrom does pay off for the Wind Ranger. I'm still confused as to why you would have this. There's no summons, there's really nothing to justify the Maelstrom pickup. It's just so strange. There's so many other items that are more cost efficient in the current meta to make them more useful. Shackle only onto a creep, unfortunately, not able to latch onto that DK.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Kappa keeping 3 in the mid lane, whereas they're going to send 2 up into the top lane. Miguel, as well as his friend, D-Thanks, but the rest of his team is coming in as well, so they're hoping that they could catch somebody. And Dubu on the Spirit Breaker might be the target. Depends if they find him, though. May be the first one to go through, but everyone's already pretty much retreated. They will have vision, though, of at least one. They know Ponlo is there. The ward here spotting everything out for that... the Elder Titan. The game's really slowed down, though. 10 kills, 11, 12 kills, actually, on the board for both teams. And it looks like it really is going to be transitioning into a farming game. 3 heroes up top for Hot6, and they're just being diversions. They will spot none of these, as Kappa's the one to have the ward here, but there's a ward here for Hot6, so bit of a ward party. They will throw the amp damage onto Miguel. Just a crush. Won't commit though, but the charge will go through. They will try and jump onto the anti-mage. No, they see some heroes. Snowball onto Dubu. It's just blessed by himself though. Is he able to really commit? Ember Spirit comes in. Got the boots of travels. Nether Strike onto Bless. He actually gets caught out by the sleep, but Dubu wakes up. D-Thanks gonna melt unfortunately as 4F comes in with NJ. 2 heroes are going to go down. It's both supports going to be chased down by the Remnant, and Bless being chased by a very angry cow who was actually being initiated on by him, but in the end it turns MVP the ones to secure themselves 3 kills and will potentially take down this T2 tower. Whereas in the middle lane, Vitamin Light's still farming. He gets stunned up by the DK though, and unfortunately without the stats he just doesn't survive. No Aghanims, no stats, not getting out of there alive. So MVP playing very aggressively here, just going for these constant pickoffs, whereas for Kappa, very, very passive play for them. And this is very uncharacteristic of the team. I've casted quite a few Kappa123 games, and normally you see them being the aggressors, the ones that are constantly putting the pressure on the enemy, the ones that are always there to start the fights. But this game has just been so backwards from their standard of play. It is really, really mind-boggling for me. So essentially the Battle Fury is done on the Ember Spirit. Once he finishes up this last creep wave, he's going to have it. And then once this is online, it's a 17-minute Battle Fury on NJ. This is disgusting. Whereas for the Anti-Mage, he didn't rush his Battle Fury. He's so close still, but it's roughly at the same time as this Ember Spirit. Ember's got Boots of Travels on top of this, so it's not like he's rushed the Boots of Travels or anything, he's not rushed it. Kappa will find 4F, and the Ember Spirit comes in with the end snare. Is it enough to keep Miguel in place? Looks like it might be enough. He melts. He melted so quickly. Oh no. And it also delays the Battle Fury by quite a bit. Another 300 gold down the drain for the Anti-Mage, it seems. Unless he bought something out. He bought something, I believe. No, he didn't buy anything. Doesn't even show you what gold he lost. What? I guess he just didn't lose any gold. I guess it was all reliable gold. Oh, Dubu. Gets caught out by Vitamin Light though. Gets caught out.
Top tower is under attack.
I really feel like this Maelstrom pickup, it's nice to get the extra lightning procs, but the stats are so useful in this game. NJ comes in, chains up Vitamin Light. We'll get the shackle off though, and NJ taking a lot of damage to the Crushers there. Can they finish off Vitamin Light in time though? He's sleeping for 5 seconds, goes down first. And there's the ultimate as well into 4 Fiend's Grip. And good night, Slaughter, as 2 heroes get punished severely from Hot6 as Kappa123 able to reinforce and to keep that Wind Ranger alive for that little bit longer. Also just picks up the Blink Dagger as well. So now there's a lot of kill potential on this Wind Ranger to try and pick up some of these Hot6 heroes by themselves. In the mid lane though, they find Miguel. Is the stun enough? It is not, apparently. They will continue on chasing, but can't fully commit on their Anti-Mage, so they will just kind of let him go. Just catch that big fish and let him go. If you can't make use of the fish, just don't bother. DK though, his form just runs out. Blinker's off cooldown. No point really jumping onto the Bane. Oh, blinks out just in time. Oh, Dubu. Oh, Dubu. He's still alive. He will get hit by the ET ult. We'll move in the meantime though. I'm going to go back under the cover of Invis. Although we have Wind Ranger going to pick off full charge. It seems no, the Grave Gut's off in time, so he's just going to TP out. Vitamin Light going to help the rest of his team though. 1, 2, 2, 7. Only can pop the Dragon's Breath under Vitamin Light. We'll go down in the meantime, but NJ, can he finish it off? There's so many heroes. Pops the Revenant, gets the pick off in the meantime. And we have our Slaughter and the Spirit Breaker chasing after Ponlo. An easy pick off here it seems. Do be pretty low. They're going to have to try and hide under his invis. Whereas Slaughter comes and crush onto the Bane. Can NJ finish it though? Chains us down. Gets his brain sapped, but all in all though, 3 heroes dead for Kappa123. Whereas MVP Hot6, they lose the DK. But in the end, though, it is a 1-for-3 trade. So big win for Kappa123 in securing those 3 kills. Like, the major one there was mostly the Wind Ranger. Just killing off the Wind Ranger there means that you're slowing down the progress of her. Whereas in the meantime, though, this anti-mage is going to eventually get his Battle Fury. But I think by the time it comes online, I don't think there's going to be enough map here for Miguel to really farm. The charge will spot him out there. He's going to try and rotate into a different lane, it seems. Depends if he gets there in time though, because Dubu could potentially catch him out, but I think at this point Miguel has to play safely. Assume there's always a Spirit Breaker and he will get charged up in the meantime. He's got Shadow Blade, doesn't even know this is happening. Miguel sees him. Now the strike, where's the chains though? They get the chains off and Miguel's dead. Very, very nice 10 events for Hot6 to shut down the anti-mage. So the anti-mage pickup here for Kappa123 has not come online. They have not been able to really make space for the anti-mage. And with this in mind, he is going to get a very late Battle Fury. They will get a kill onto the DK though, but at the cost of what? The Crushes there. They get Vitamin Light and Wind Run is there in time, but can they keep her in place for long enough? Still under the cover of Wind Run. Nightmare's there. NJ takes a little bit of damage. Punch onto Dubu. The Crush is there for 4. Finishes him off and Pomno as well. They're going to go forward. Fiend's Grip onto 4, but the Bane goes down. Bash onto Bless. They could potentially lose their whole team here as 4F. Oh, does not get the Crush off. The Blink was a little bit late there, unfortunately. Is he going to get bashes? Chains is not there, but they do finish him off in time. Complete team wipe, 21 minutes into the game, and Hot6 are looking very dominant 20 minutes into this game. Like, if we take a look at the net graphs, yeah, this is an indicator of a major lead here for Hot6. They're the ones that are aggressive. They're the ones dictating the fights, and with that in mind, they will be able to take the fights a little bit easier, whereas if you're running an anti-mage, already fighting 4v5 is difficult, but if your team is not really actively searching for kills and looking to make the fights happen in their favor, it's very, very difficult to really come back into the game. It's going to be Hot6 most of the time dictating the flow of the game because they have a Crush, they have chains, they have a DK stun with a blink, they've even got a Spirit Breaker as well. There's just so much disruption on the side of Hot6 it's almost unbearable for Kappa123 when it comes to dealing with it. They just don't have the tools. And now they're going into a Roche. And obviously if Roche gets taken, it's going to be a huge advantage. So can Kappa contest this Roche? They don't have the best Roche lineup. Crush unfortunately misses. Shackle does not land, but he will manage to sprint out of there. No! Snowball's there in time. The sleep catches up onto 2. So 1 is dead so far. Blink up. Are they going to continue on chasing? The DK stuns there. Can they kill off Vitamin Light in time? Almost there. They almost have enough for the Nightmares there. Vitamin Light will get out with the Wind Run. Dies in the meantime to the Dragon Knight Corrosive Breath. They get the Tusk as well. Anti-Mage in the backside, knowing he cannot do anything. And this Ponlo Illusion, or the Ponlo Spirit, just really not doing anything, unfortunately. He has the max natural order, but they're just not ready to fight yet. They really aren't. And now this is another Roche attempt coming in the way of Hot6. So the Illusion, it will potentially go for a stun. Only connects onto 1 though if it does land. The Illusion won't even bother going for a sleep. He has gone towards the south, and I think they're going to look for him now. DK stun, it's going to land. Fog, they will find him in the meantime. Those charges there, and Ponlo's not getting out. Ponlo's not getting out. Bashed as well. Bashed to hell, and Dubu, job successful. Roche is still at half HP, but the thing is they keep going. Yep, keep going for the Roche. Keep going for it. Take this Aegis. 25-minute high ground push. And this is going to be a very favorable position here if you are going to be a Hot6 fan. So Aegis on the DK. Now Hot6 are free to do whatever they want. They're going to go for a charge into the top lane. Miguel has his Battle Fury 23 minutes into the game though, so it's a little bit later than normal. Now the strike's there, and they catch Miguel. The chains is there. Can they finish him off in time? It looks like they will be able to. So he goes down. Vitamin Light wants to kill off Dubu though, but NJ, look at the damage coming through. The stun as well by 4F. Oh, Vitamin Light just not able to get any kills happening. He can try and burst them down, but it's just not enough. Not tanky enough. Too much negative armor. Too much physical damage. So again, not just Anti-Mage, but also the Wind Ranger going down. And if Wind Ranger's not able to carry the game for their Anti-Mage for the next couple of minutes, who is? It's not going to be the Tusk. Because with him right now, he's level 9. He's got max shards, almost maxed Frozen Sigil. But that's it. He's just not able to do it. He's not the one doing the damage. It's supposed to be the Wind Ranger, but Wind Ranger by herself can't do it. And he's consistently going for these kills solo. He needs his team there, but I feel like at this point, DK just blinks into the enemy base and doesn't care. He's got so much armor, it is almost ridiculous. They're going to slowly work away on this T3. Whereas for Kappa, what do they do? Anti-Mage just wants to farm up the creep wave. That is all he wants to do. Just farm up the creep wave. There is a sleep onto some of the heroes, but 1-2-2-7 still going strong. He has the Aegis still, so he's not really afraid of losing that. Still working away at this tower. Sleeps there and power shot. They will pop the grave off, but there's a shackle, lands only onto the illusion as well as the DK. He has the Aegis still, remember. Crushes there. Vitamin Light Windrun is there as well. Can they actually burst him down in time? He gets hit by the crit. Oh, Windrunner. Unfortunately, you're going to get completely melted. Tusk Snowball keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Doobie in the meantime slapped up, punched into the air. Can't even get the Nether Strike off, but the Ember Spirit going to burst down. Bless, and all of a sudden, DK summons and Miggle. He only wanted to fight with the team, but he melts. 25 GG. 25-minute GG here as Hot6 dominate game 1 between them and Kappa123. So already a very good series it seems for Hot6 as they're going to secure the first game of this best of 2 series. Can they turn this into a 2-0 sweep, or will Kappa come back in a 1-1? We'll see in the next game as we are going to be moving into it very quickly. We are still behind schedule, guys. So we're going to be moving into it as soon as possible. Guys, my name's been Denali. I've been your solo English caster for this game. If you want to give me a follow on my Twitter, definitely go ahead at DenaliCasts. Top right hand corner of the screen. But we'll be back in 5 minutes for the next game between MVP Hot6 and Kappa123. Stick around and I'll see you very shortly.